Raw's Hawk. So yeah, Tribe not being in here, that should kind of open some things up, at least when it comes to this game. Now, a couple teams that I'm always worried about every time we see this, Cloud9 and Loops, when they're in the same lobby together, they drop so close. They drop South George, that hospital area, but it's actually hasn't been, too bad for both teams because they seem to both get their loot really quick and avoid each other at all costs. But my question here, Jukes, if they went back, they watched.
So the teams in the region did. So if you had better gun skill as a squad than the whole rest of the team, here's almost catching that member on top of that hill. But, going back to my point, I think that at the most point, if you had a team that had better gunners overall, you were able to play separate because the other squads play separate. And if you had better gunners, you were able to just outgun each one in a 1v1 situation. But when you're playing at this high level against these different teams, going in a 1v2 with this kind of gun skill you're going against, it's not going to work out for you. And I think we've seen that happen. As a squad pushes together, they just 2v1, 3v1 that person. And since they're so split up, once you're knocked, you're dead. You're not going to be able to get picked up. So yeah, I think that that's something that these teams have to realize and start adapting to as soon as possible.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and I think they are. I think they are. We definitely don't see as many teams super spread, at least in the early game anymore. Like, what was it? Season 1, week 1, I think it was Call 2. Every single drop out the plane, they were nowhere near each other. And they were always like our squad that our observers would go look at first because they would find themselves in like 1v2, 1v3, in random spots too. Like they'd have one person at Mansion, they'd have one person in Raw's Hawk. So it really left you scratching your head. But over time, they stopped that. They completely stopped that. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see how these teams are able to perform here. XQ, we got Starlight right here, loot and farm. We got the Loop squad, extremely aggressive, finding themselves on their servers, their homeland here tonight. Last season, this definitely was one of those teams that non-stop aggression. They did not hold back. If they had the opportunity to roll up in some UAZs, some Dacias, and try to get some runovers and some third-party action going on, you bet this team was the team to do just that. And they were able to capitalize quite well on the overall leaderboards with that strategy. Now here with their server, I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Loops season number 2 to be top dog.
Yeah, you can see like this is like probably one of the most dominating teams in South America. And you see Cloud9, of course, one of the top teams in North America, right here on Pachinki Hill. So you can already tell that both these squads are kind of in the same mindset of where they want to be in their placement. So that's interesting to note right off the bat. As you can see, one of those members from Loops was holding that mini with the 6X. And I'm telling you, I cannot tell you guys enough. Just recently, after this update, that mini is no joke. Laser beam. These guys, they have that kind of ability to just tap like crazy, rapid fire. And I think a lot of squads are going to start shifting over and get ready for the next zone.
I mean, I'm surprised. 14 minutes in, 16 teams still alive. I mean,
only 2 people.
There's not a lot of real estate left here, especially when we come to the next zone. Like, is it going to hard shift? Is it going to center on up? Got a lot of DPs in play. It looks like Call 2, they actually lost one of their vehicles, so they're going to be over here with that shack for cover. Team Queso, though, great position in my opinion. They got the water to their backside, so really they only have to worry about 3 angles compared to 4. They don't really need to worry about that whole 360 because no one's going to be coming up, swimming up at this late in the game. So Team Queso setting up in a great spot. I mean, what's your takes on this position?
I think that's it's a really good position. The only problem is like when a hard shift comes, because if the hard shift does come, it's really you're kind of target practice for all these squads. You got to make sure you keep an eye on those teams down the hill, that if it hard shifts away, the second they move out is when you want to move out. Because yeah, you can see right here, Cold 2 BG, they have eyes on them already. So right now, if you're Team Queso, you're just hoping the zone does not leave you. Oh, wow. They did it. They were blessed. So they're set up and ready to go. So right now, they just need to stand up and shoot at anything that moves.
Dude, if you're a Team Solid, if you're Cream, if you're XQ Gaming, like, there's not a lot of room to work with down there to the south on the beach. And we see that already. Grunto will be finding one of their members bleeding on out. They actually only have Q, the last remaining member, up and at him, trying to avoid this like the plague, but will be getting third-partied out there in the distance by B4. Q, they do have a vehicle, but by the way they're aiming down sights, they are looking to maybe get the revive. It could spell disaster. Russell, right close, right next to him, right behind him, trying to do everything in their power to continue to survive themselves. And the last remaining member for Simplicity, you have a UAS, you're on the outskirts of the old zone. You have a journey ahead of you here. Not a lot of options.
He's mad. He's like, how dare you shoot the tires to my UAS? If I'm not leaving, you're not either right there. So yeah, last member up. Russell just putting on those shots, gets a knock, and kind of takes out those tires to that buggy. But yeah, everyone's on the rotate right now. Oh, wild cards right next to Team Queso right here.
Yeah, it looks like Slicky is getting that revive, Team Queso. So, I mean, they could kind of be neighbors for the time being. I don't think Team Queso will appreciate this and allow it, as we already see grenades just ringing on out from the side of Team Queso, and they're inflicting a lot of damage. That's the thing with this shack. Like, you got the cover, but I feel like, you know, if Team Queso wanted to, they could push right up in there, toss a molly through that upper window, and there you go. I mean, there's your duo who once had protection. They're out.
Yeah, you know, if I were Team Queso, I would leave wildcard there so you can have the opportunity to shoot at everything else. And that's exactly what they're doing, as they found Cream driving in the water, and now they're going fishing.
Oh, man. So it looked like all 4 members of Cream, they were actually able to make it on into the new zone, or at least the edge of the new zone. They're going to be swimming like you mentioned. And right when they crash into the water, we see immediately Cream all scattering, all dispersing, all swimming in all types of directions, just trying to survive. If you are wildcard and you hear this, this might be the prime opportunity if you want to get a little aggressive and take out Team Queso. But by looking at the mini map in the top right hand corner, looks like wildcard, they're fine. They're fine with having Team Queso right to the south of them. And Team Queso, they're fine with, you know, possibly getting some free points out here on these swimmers.
Yeah, you know, you said that Cream got into zone. I think they got into zone with the biggest asterisk ever right there. You know, unfortunately, they're all swimming for their lives, losing 2 members, and they have a couple barely on their
into that new zone, and it will be favoring them somewhat. So unless Team Queso, they really want to take them out and, you know, risk, you know, peeking on over those ridges, Cream might be able to survive and gather some more placement points. But the main story right now is all these teams up here in the north. You got Call 2, you got Alpha 7, you got Ace 1. They all need to make their push. They all need to make their approach. When it comes to Ace,
here they
got
all
a couple
come.
vehicles to work with. Everyone's going to be in those vehicles. Call 2, though, this is a good opportunity for them to rack up some kills. All they need to do is all fire on these vehicles, and that's exactly what they're doing. We see Alpha 7 Mid-Tech being exploded in the kill feed. Over here, the Knights find themselves in their own engagement right after Ace made that crash into this compound.
Look at that. You got Ace, Loops, Pittsburgh Knights all going at it right now, trying to find their best position. Paralyzed started to smoke out. They already lost 2 members, just trying to stay alive as long as they can. All of them are in the zone right here. So, oh, it's going to be really tough right now. If you're Ace, you got to be real careful. Because a nade, and that's it.
Oh,
Nunez down by Raven.
Oh, no. Nunez, they suspected that grenade landed right on in there. We saw him looking around, but we didn't see the explosion. So they're like, oh, it must have been this team. With that grenade immediately, the Knights going to be pushing on in. Raven with that Uzi, trying to get the confirms right now. J7 and both Jagger will be knocked down and out from the team. But just like that, the Knights able to successfully defend their compounds, at least for the time being. Jagger find themselves near a 4-member squad of Loops. I don't know if Jagger will be successful in the revive. Nope, we see Jagger taken down and out. So Knights, Loops, going to be neighbors for the time being. Call 2 still with 3 up, able to manage to make their way, weaseled their way on into the zone to the north. And I believe that's it for B4.
They survived. They made it in there right there. We saw a huge nade from Raven right there to open up the fight. You know, hey, there's sometimes it's okay to be neighbors, but at the edge of zone right here, you don't want to be neighbors that close. So, I mean, they hit a good, solid nade right there and just full sent it, and were able to get the secure right there. So they're going to be set up, good to go. The zone did hard shift off them. Wow. 45 seconds left, so they need to start getting moving right now, or at least get a plan in place.
You know who's liking this circle? Team Queso. Once again, this is like the 4th circle magnets in a row. Yeah, it is 100% paying off. So now this is going to be interesting. really, if you are the Knights, if you are Loops, you gotta take each other out before focusing on the zone. If you don't, you're just gonna get backstabbed. You're gonna get fired upon in the process. Looks like the Knights are gonna be attempting to toss some smokes. They also got called to right in front of them, attempting to take some shots, maybe pop out their tires as well. I mean, what's the game plan here, Jukes? What do you see, you know, these squads doing?
It would be interesting to see, like, if these teams that are knowing they're on the outside, if somehow they can both recognize that, hey, we need you guys to get in, and you need us to get in. So if you don't shoot... Oh, look at that! Lux with the DP!
The Gilly sneaking up right there. And let's see, though. Let's see, I mean, what you're saying. It's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy right now. So I think Loops and PK need to not worry about each other and fight everybody else to get in, and then worry about each other later. Because look at Raven. He's driving right into it. Oh, this is not going to be an easy one.
Oh, there's a little dip right there, right to the left of Raven. 2 members of Tempo actually going to allow Raven to get on into the zone. Raven chunked down pretty low.
He got caught.
As I say that, both Spec and Tensa will be dually tossing out some grenades, connecting right onto Raven, getting the vehicle explosion. The Knights aware of this. The Knights only with 1 more member up. G3, they're going to be crawling, finding their way on into this new zone.
Tempo had a really good car wall. They're dead center of zone right now. So they just need to make sure that they're securing themselves to not get knocked and just try to be able to hit those shots in this position, because you got some big teams right now snaking in the grass looking to take you out right this instant, because this zone, it's getting dangerous.
I mean, everybody's snaking. That's the only thing you can really do right now, as we see call to
no cover.
7 kills so far. 7 kills. We know Lux has got the DP. Looks like they're gonna be in a little closer, spotting out Tempo. They are right in the middle of some smoke, so this might be an indicator from the duo from Call to just to get some cover fire going on here. Lux is gonna be tossing a grenade right on into that smoke, and look, they're gonna be getting a knock over here, but uneven from C9. Will be getting the steal. Let's mention Cloud9. They have 4 alive. They somehow managed to continue to survive here. As I say
Loops,
that, we see both of them get knocked right there by Loops. Oh, I jinxed it. I jinxed it hard.
Are you kidding me? Great shots from Loops with their backs pressed up against the wall, hitting some big knocks right there on Cloud9 to create some breathing room, but it's not going to be easy to get into this zone right now.
Tempo. They got Rain actually in the vehicle, pretending that they're not here. And it looks like Team Queso will be starting to get some more shots on Call 2. Call 2 are going to be knocked down and out. We got 4 teams remaining. Tempo with 3. We got Loop still alive on over that hill as well. And it does look like the 2 knocks on the side of Cloud9 were successful. Beowulf, they have a nice little dip. They're super close to Team Queso. Beowulf is trying to get the information on Team Queso. If Beowulf had a molly, if Beowulf had some utility like some grenades, now would be the time to throw it over here. Marco almost falling off that cliff, and here comes the grenades right on top of Team Queso.
Oh my
4
gosh.
members of Cloud9.
Big one right here.
Trying to clutch it out. Trying
Got
to
him!
clear out the end. And
Oh my
Adar
goodness.
with a huge double knock right there onto Mystic and Yala. Now it's just down to 1 more member of Team Queso, and they've been favored time and time again with the zone. Their luck no longer.
They were favored with the zone, but they were not favored with the grenades coming from Adder. For 3, hits it right there. Big time clutch time, because they needed to get that knock instantly. They had 5 seconds left in the zone. Clutch finish right there for Cloud9. So now you just got to worry about Tempo Storm in the middle, but it's Snake City right now. And they'll look at this last member from Loops, and heck, we got to worry about every single member from Loops, because these guys can hit shots.
Mistake me if I'm wrong, Jukes here, but what Rain is doing, can't they jump in the vehicle, and aren't you able to get like a better sight line, like a better camera view of around you?
Yep, that's a really high IQ play right there. So they're keeping that vehicle alive so they can just hop in it and use that third person from the vehicle to be able to get a little bit more sight line and possibly spot somebody for your team right there. So that's why they're working so hard to especially smoke and secure it, because that's a big brain play right there for Tempo.
And that could be the deciding factor on whether or not they win over here. Looks like uneven from Cloud9. The Snake will be spotted. Tempo still with 2 up, at least the Snakes. And like we mentioned, Rain will be still occupying that vehicle. Spec chunked down pretty low. looking to prep
Big
another
nade.
grenade, at least in the general
Got
direction
him.
where Uneven was knocked. And
Spec.
there goes another one on the side of Tempo Storm. These grenades are inflicting so much damage right now. But don't underestimate Loops. They got one more member up, and they're getting close. They're going to have this cover for this burnt dot.
That's Cloud9 out. Oh my goodness.
Cloud9 down.
That's it. Oh, but here comes Carrillo.
Oh,
2v1.
the trade. So that's going to be giving away their position. Tensa now going to be making the push on up. Remember, that last remaining member from Loops, they have the dossier for cover, and I also believe they're in the zone, at least for the time being. So they're going to be peeking out. They're going to be spraying. Spec trying to crawl, trying to get as much information, trying to get the read right here. Tensa in the smokes. Rain going to be tossing a molly. Is it going to burn? So close. Here comes the grenade in return here.
Throws it on those vehicles.
So there goes another points on over to the Loops here. 8 kills on the Loops.
11
11 kills on the Tempo. Tempo looking to secure the bag. Looking to take the first chicken dinner.
Oh my goodness.
Rain now it's down to just a 1v1.
So close.
Wow.